All right, welcome. I'm going to do an audio test here first, but in today's video, we're going to be discussing this recent price action that we're seeing across the board with coins like Dogecoin and obviously Bitcoin as well. And are we on pace for pretty much a Dogecoin breakout or a market breakout, a rally in the crypto market? Because we're ultimately getting really close to breaking trend and starting a new trajectory here. So, and with this type of momentum, it is looking really good that we can actually break trend and pretty much have to do some new trajectories all over again as far as for where these coins are going to go over the next few months. So this is really an unexpected event, but nonetheless, for those of us who are holding, this is great for us in these positions. Let's see. So with the numbers I gave, so as far as for if you're looking at like retracement, Fibonacci, or just pretty much a reset based off of the trend line here with the bridges that I've drawn, we're looking at roughly around 1835 for a Dogecoin trend reversal. And we're closing in on it. We're closing in on it very quickly. Bitcoin is roughly around $1,000 below its trend reversal, but we have to keep in mind that the media controls the price action in the short term, right? We know that today, pretty much it broke for SEC filing for Tesla that Elon at the end of 2021, he owned roughly around $2 billion in Bitcoin. Now, personally, I do believe this is playing a factor in a lot of people grabbing positions in a lot of these coins. And as you know, Bitcoin is obviously a market indicator. Rising tides raise all boats. So when people come in and they try and say, okay, well, if they're that aggressive in this holding, their holdings, maybe I should take a position as well. And it's just pretty much starts like this bullish trend. FOMO starts kicking in, and it's kind of hard to say where that will actually fizzle out. So the major catalyst as far as for what sent the market in a downward trajectory, as far as like the Fed and the interest rates, all this kind of stuff like that, those factors have not changed. But again, in the short term, you have different mediums that can be used to measure the growth or the explosiveness in these cryptos. And the fact of the matter is, we can potentially have FOMO set in with this type of price action based off of the holdings of some of these larger companies. So this can actually cause a lot of these cryptos to break trend, and we're pretty much going to have to start the charting process over again for what we're going to project here over the next month or so. I mentioned this in the community section. He's like, yeah, this is great for Dogecoin. This is bullish. I was like, yeah, this is definitely great for Dogecoin. It's great for Bitcoin. It's great for most of the cryptos that you're holding. But as far as for charting and trajectories that we have going forward here, this is it can pretty much make the charts that we've drawn over the last few weeks in the short term pretty much useless. Super Bowl pump for BTC. There's a chance. Yeah, there's a chance. Yeah, again, media controls the narrative in the short term. So there's really a strong chance that this can perpetuate to like different media segments and just cause it to go the opposite direction. So, but again, we know there is that threat for liquidity in the market. So for institutions and stuff like that to have this Fed hike and these rates coming on, this is like perfect for them because it'll give them opportunity to capitalize off of this spike if they're looking for further liquidity. So this is, for them, this is perfect. S&P 500 is still down. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, matter of fact, let me check this right now. And if that's the case, that'll be a great indicator that this is the media causing this push here. So yeah, then S&P is still in the red, of course. So yeah, and this is, again, this is what I personally believe that this is because of the announcement of Tesla. So you have this FOMO kind of kicking in. So overall, we know that this isn't like a market trajectory or a complete market like reversal here. But I think that when we have the catalyst to generate that FOMO in the crypto market, we're going to get this type of price action. But it doesn't necessarily, it's not indicative on where the coin's ultimately going to go. So it does not mean that, and I mentioned this on my community section, the coin rising now does not mean it's going to consolidate lower in the future. Just like Bitcoin consolidating from 66,000 doesn't mean that it's not going to go over six figures, right? So, so I do think that this is mostly just media and hype for now until we get some confirmation later on to see if this is going to be sustainable. But again, crypto is crypto. These gains can disappear just as quickly as they came. So the question is, will we get FOMO into the market here and start getting these large volume spikes? So once we start getting those large volume spikes, we'll know that we kind of, that a lot of those buyers that were on the sidelines that were planning to invest, they got FOMO and they're kind of jumping in a little earlier just in case this is the indicator. But I'm telling all of you, that my subscribers and possibly those of you that are watching that are unfamiliar with my channel, the major catalyst as far as for the Fed interest rate hikes has not changed. And until we get confirmation from that, that gray cloud of uncertainty is still going to be over the crypto market and still going to be over the stock market. So until we get some confirmation on how many rate hikes, how much of a rate hike, we're not going to have a concrete idea of the type of liquidity or rebalancing of portfolios that these institutions are going to do, because money is going to be a little harder to come by. So just keep that in mind when the short term, when everybody starts pumping out these, to the moon videos and stuff like that. Always look at both sides. Look at the you can have your hopium or whatever, but look at the positive and look at the other side as well, and do your conclusion on your investments. In your opinion, do you think Dogecoin will hit 50 cents this year? It's entirely possible. We have the catalyst to have Dogecoin rally this year. The question is what state of the market is going to be in, right? We have what I believe personally is one of the biggest catalysts is AMC, just for utility purposes and accessibility to everyone and a continuous new product, which is great. Of course, Doge One, international marketing, removing the meme stigma, adding credibility to the coin. These catalysts that we're pushing for as far as for utility and the food industries, like the McDonald's catalyst, and us working to take on some of these bigger institutions. We have the catalyst here to have an incredible rise this year. But the only thing of uncertainty is what's going to be the state of the market. Ultimately, again, I don't think that whatever happens this year is going to be indicative of where Dogecoin is going to go, but it's just that short term, there may be some catalyst here that's going to cause the market to be different this year compared to how it was the previous 2 years, starting with the Fed not injecting that $120 billion a month through mortgage-backed securities and bonds. So we're just kind of gotta keep an eye on that. But again, those of you that are here with me on the channel and stuff like that, we're going to be prepared for that so we can make money either way. Completely agree on the Fed rates. Thank you. The Dogecoin, I hope, gets to 150 this year, and Shiba Inu at least a half a penny. Let's go. Yeah, the catalyst out there, we really just, as far as for the longevity of the market this year is going to be determined in March, right? So around March 16th, toward the end of Q1, we're going to have a concrete idea on the trajectory of the market. So again, it's not that I thought that because we're threatening, the only reason that you've seen the catalyst as far as like a bear market or threatening to go into a bear market has been, the concrete evidence has been because of the Fed, right? But the reason the volume has slowed down so much in crypto is because people are saying that, which is technically smart, if you have this unknown catalyst and this potential to have a further pullback, people are holding their money and saying that I can get a better entry, right? Which is smart. You can dollar cost average in weekly, but you're giving yourself the opportunity, you're saving that money to give yourself the opportunity to catch some of those better prices. But when you have stuff that happens like today, when you have, let's take a look at Bitcoin, who is literally, oh, I gotta go to crypto first, who's literally threatening a full retracement here. No, excuse me, not full retracement, literally threatening a trend reversal. It can generate FOMO in the market. So when we have that, it's hard to say where we're going to end up. It's hard to say because we don't know how much money has been waiting on the sideline, right? So we could potentially have hundreds of millions, billions of dollars on the sideline of people that were fully intending to invest, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's running! Go now, throw it in now, and we can get another $5,000-$10,000 in Bitcoin. We can get another 5 cents, 10 cents in Dogecoin. Like it just Doge has historically the 200-day moving average is just starting to consolidate down below. The 200-day moving average for Dogecoin for the longest was around 25 cents. We just got that breakdown to 16 cents over the last few months. So technically speaking, as far as for where Dogecoin has held up for most of the year, it's nothing for Dogecoin to get that 10-cent appreciation and start holding the line again at around 24, 25 cents. That's going to cause panic and say, oh my God, we need to put this money in now so we can get these prices. So again, that's something that's just something you have to know, and you're not going to be able to chart it, but you don't know how this is going to play out in the short term. It's just kind of hard to say where FOMO is going to take the market. I'm optimistic on the crypto as a whole, especially long term. What's happening right now, I'm cautious. I'm not sure what time you got on the live, but the segments that have caused the panic or the uncertainty in the markets have not gone away. So again, what we're potentially looking at here is FOMO. So I don't buy on bull runs, right? I typically don't get sucked into FOMO and stuff like that. If you will look at one of my more popular videos, it was the one where I broke down the flow of the wealth, and I pretty much did a graph showing how the money flows in and out of the market and to who. I'm aware of that at all times. So when we have FOMO or a tweet or a SEC document that comes out and people start rushing in and stuff like that, that's not sustainable energy, right? So sustainable energy is utility coming in there, the supplies, supply going down. These are things that can cause like appreciation, but people who are either trading the coin, because we have to figure out, okay, who's trading the coins, who's going to short the coins in here. The short-term pumpers are going to be in. So we have to kind of weigh all that in, and we say, okay, well, long-term, can this price action sustain itself, or will it consolidate again and resume to where it is because of the major catalyst? And I don't make those types of gambles because there's no reason to. I'm bullish on just about every coin that I cover on here long term. But when it comes down to entries and stuff like that, I'm ultimately, when I have I started buying Bitcoin at around like $7,000-$8,000, right? Dogecoin at around like 2 cents. AMC, I started buying at like $5, like all those popular ones, Plug Power, like $3, so I have great entries on a lot of my long-term positions. So when I start to look at whether I'm cautious or optimistic, I'm looking for the crack in the fabric to time my entries so that I can be in a place of appreciation despite where I'm getting into or what my DCA is going to be. So I don't technically look at catalysts or the news or Twitter to decide if I'm going to make an entry or not. I'm looking at price points. That's what decides. So this is great for the market overall because, again, this can push us further up, but you have to look at the reason why this is pushing us further up. And I believe it's FOMO. So, and FOMO, as we all know, if you've been in here, if you've been in crypto, even for 6 months, you know that FOMO is not sustainable. So just be careful. I don't believe that if you buy Bitcoin at this price or even at 66,000, and if you have the capability of holding for 5 years, I don't believe you're going to lose money. Like I just don't. But the question is, despite what price you get in, you have to factor how long can you hold. Factor that in, right? So I'm optimistic as a whole, but as far as for this price movement, I'm very cautious just because of the reasons why. So I don't want to make this video too long. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not, share it with a friend. Thank you guys, and I'll talk to you later.